Coming to you from an undisclosed location somewhere deep in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains, I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli. Welcome to another episode of Questions with L.A. We'll get into your questions, so much more, right after this wonderful word from our sponsor. Hey folks, L.A. Marzulli here. Have you ever wondered what happened to a legendary Chuck Norris? I recently saw a video he made and I was shocked. Folks, he's in his 80s and still kicking butt and working out and staying active. Let me stop you there. So, and I've told this story before, but I have to say it again. So after the fire, 2018, there was a YMCA and I joined that, and they had two very large trailers filled with gym equipment. So I went in on a Sunday morning and I'm working out. There's another guy in there with me. He's a little older than I am, and there's a circuit. So we're going around all these different weights, and I get, you know, he's ahead of me, so I'm coming in after he's already worked out on that particular machine. And this one where you sit in a chair like this and you're pressing down on the weight, going, my gosh, who is this guy? It was like unbelievable. And he's got like a script in his hand. So he's walking around with a script, and I kind of go, you know, good luck on the script. I hope you get the part. He goes, he just kind of laughs and chuckles. And so I keep following this guy around. He's like super strong. I mean, you know, and he's older than I am, but I don't, whatever. So it gets to the point where I'm getting ready to leave, and he's still looking at his script, and I've done my workout, but he's still working out. And I go, good luck on the part, hope you get it. He just kind of nods his head and laughs, and I walk out in the parking lot, and I get to the car, and all of a sudden it dawns on me, oh my gosh, that was Chuck Norris. So when I read this to you, when I talk about this, he's in his 80s and still, it's true. I've seen it with my own eyes. I was in the same gym, on the same machines. He was lifting 30, 40 pounds more than I could, which is unbelievable. Okay, let's continue. What's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer. I just attested to that. And has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. He did this by just making one change. He says he still feels like he's in his 50s. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day long. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure you watch it, folks, by going to chuckdefense.com/LA. It's right up there on the screen, folks. chuckdefense.com/LA, or by clicking the link below this video. It will change the way you think about your health. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com/LA, and click on the link in the description below to watch the video. Now, you won't believe how simple this really is. Just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old, and yet has more energy than I do. He discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health simply focusing on three things that sabotage our body as we age. Folks, check it out, chuckdefense.com/LA. That's www.chuckdefense.com/LA. So the fire happened in 2018, that's 6 years ago, and I was at the gym probably 2019, so he's like 79 then, and, you know, back off some age on me, I'm like 70, so, you know, he's 9 years older than I am. Just blew me away. Not making this stuff up. Folks, I do morning kick every single day. What I have noticed, I've been doing it for a couple of months now, what I have noticed is I do have more energy, and I'm a little, I don't want to hype this, but I feel more centered than usual, and that's because after a cup of coffee, I'm like, you know, all the characters come out, but I digress. So anyway, folks, go to chuckdefense.com/LA. One more time, chuckdefense.com/LA. Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in. If you've got a question, please email me them at questions@lamarzulli.net, questions@lamarzulli.net. I promise you we will get to them. Okay, here we go. This is from Catherine Stevens. Dear L.A., I have been watching your videos from Walk on Water Church. I saw that a woman had a similar existence as me. The difference was I thought they were sealing me. I am a Christian. The Lord has been leading me to different information for a few years. My husband and I were in a car crash on a bridge. A drunk driver hit us head on. Wow. We should have been dead. Satan was not allowed to take us. I'm sure an angel was with us on the bridge. I was blinded in my left eye from the airbag. Prayed that the Lord would open my eyes spiritually instead of physical healing. I can hardly believe what he has given me. As a good little Baptist, I have known about these times for years, actually expected them. But these two dark beings at the foot of my bed, holding my ankles like the woman in your message, this has me troubled. I know you are busy, but any reply would be appreciated. Okay. So that's from Cappy. It's always troubling when I hear stories like this. Folks, I don't have all the answers. I don't. Why does God allow things to happen like this? Why does God allow Auschwitz? Out of the ashes of the Holocaust, the nation of Israel was birthed. Sometimes I think the Lord allows things like this to show us the reality of the supernatural world, to show us that these entities do exist, that it's not a pipe dream, that you're not hallucinating, that you're not you're in your right mind, but things are happening. There also can be doorways that are open. Unforgiveness is a huge doorway. And there are so many people, both men and women within the church, who have unforgiveness in their heart, which leads to bitterness. And that root of bitterness can defile many. I was bitter, so I'm not telling you anything that I haven't experienced myself. Something happened in my life decades and decades ago, and I was very, very bitter. And the Lord, one day, the Lord spoke to me very clearly. If you don't forgive, I can't forgive you. That's scriptural. I went, okay, like a hot potato, I dropped the bitterness. We have no right to be bitter. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. It's the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us those who trespass against us. That's how it works. That's what love does. Love doesn't remember, love forgets. Do any of us live up to that? Sort of. We do it as best as we can, but we all fall short. All right, let's move on. The other thing, Cappy, I would say to you is this. Pray over the house, pray over the room. Play praise music in the house. Make sure you're walking where you should be. Make sure your husband is walking where he should be. Let's move on. This is from James. Thank you for your awesome contribution in the field of the supernatural. Thank you. Actually, it's from Carolyn. Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate it. Do you believe that babies and young children who have not reached the age of accountability will be caught up in the rapture? Absolutely. All day long. Any thoughts about our animals that are left inside? Look, Mr. Wrinkles is coming up. Absolutely. I can't wait. No, that's Mr. Wrinkles' voice. I talk for him. I should really do the Mr. Wrinkles show. Gil Zimmerman, my business partner, and I have talked about it and joked about it. But, there's only so many hours in the day, so here we are. But I think dogs, yeah, I do. I mean, call me crazy, but that's what I think. I think, all dogs do go to heaven. I think that's what we're looking at. And I think that's just like the Lord to pull something like that, and they get glorified bodies too. Okay, this is from Russell. We visited the Devil's Tower in 2017. As I walked around the bottom of the tower, there were 5-sided, 6-sided, and 7-sided pieces of the columns that had fallen down over the years. Some of these sections were 20 to 30 feet long. If you look up the side of the tower, you can see the outside sections of these columns, all running parallel and right up against each other. The park gave an explanation of how these columns were formed, but they look like concrete that was formed with a machine, not like something found in nature. I have never been to Devil's Tower, folks. I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but my rule of thumb for all this stuff is this. And let me just give you the rule of thumb first, and I'll tie it into a story which is pertinent. Always, always, always go to a natural explanation first. So if you see something, let's say a light in the sky, is it a plane? Is it a helicopter? Is it Starlink? Go there first. But if this thing all of a sudden appears like this, then you know you're not in Kansas anymore, okay? So, but always go to the explanation. If a light appears here and it gets brighter and then it goes off and then bam, it's back on again, you've just encountered something supernatural. I get emails about this all the time. There is a wall up in Montana. We went there. Gil Zimmerman and I were there along with Tim Alberino. It's called Sage Wall, and we debunked it in less than 5 minutes. It is a natural formation. You got to realize that 2 miles of ice were over this area. 2 miles of ice. Can you imagine the weight And there are fissures in the rock, but these are not what we see in Sacsayhuaman. Does it look like Sacsayhuaman? It is similar, but I've been there. I've been there. And Tim and I went to the back side of the wall, and sure enough, we debunked it in less than 5 minutes. It is a natural phenomena. So all that to say, circling back at Devil's Tower, go to the natural explanation first. I've never been there. It's on the bucket list. However, there are only so many hours of the day. This is from Bob. I just heard you on Dave Hodges. By the way, I'll be back on Dave Hodges soon and talking with him, and decided I should look to see if you have an audio-only podcast. I know you're on YouTube and sometimes watch you on that platform. It'll be really good if you exported the audio from some of those videos and simply turned it in to a whole new podcast. You know what, folks? John Adam, make it so. We're going to start doing that for all the shows. We really are. We need to do that. So let's make a podcast. How do we do that, John? That's your new assignment. Carry on. Keep going. This is from Angel. My name is Angel. I've been watching you on YouTube for a while. Thank you. I appreciate that. My question is, how do the giants and or Nephilim fit into the tribulation and or the wrath of God? Or when do they fit in? Thank you so much for passing your knowledge on to the rest of us. Much love for all you do, Angel. That's a really good question. Now, our work on the Kandahar giant, you get some of these things, because I believe there's more than one, showing up in a village and all hell's going to break loose. But is it possible that the Theion, the beasts of the earth, we read about this in the book of Revelation, is it possible that the Theion are Sasquatch and Bigfoot? That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. That's what I believe that they are. I believe that the Squatches are, in fact, the beasts of the earth. When you go back and look at the Gimli Patterson film, which I used to have a copy of frame by frame by frame, it was digitized from the film. In my opinion, it's not a guy in a female gorilla suit because this thing has breasts. So it's the best of my knowledge. I don't think they had female gorilla suits back then. I don't know. I haven't done the research. Maybe you guys want to do that. But in my opinion, it's real. And since then, Squatch sightings have gone through the roof. I believe that there's a breeding program going on. I believe when they're set loose, all hell will break loose. This is from Michelle. Hey, LA, I saw this on Facebook and wonders if you heard about these carvings. And this is the carving right here. I'll show this to you in a second. Hold on, folks. The stone carving on the wall, this is in India, in Tamil Nadu, India, depict the process of human conception and birth. If at different stages of pregnancy surprise no one, the depiction of fertilization is simply unthinkable. Thousands of years before the discovery of these very cells, before ultrasound and the microscope, a detailed process of how cells meet, merge, and grow in a woman's womb is carved in a 6,000-year-old temple. Here's what it looks like. And the book of Enoch will come to our rescue. Why? Because it says in the book of Enoch that the fallen angels sinned against the animal kingdom. How is it possible? There was genetic engineering happening in the days of Noah. Jesus warns us it'll be like the days of Noah when he returns. There is genetic engineering happening even as I speak. Are there chimeras walking amongst us? You know, who knows? Who knows? This is why he's got to come back, because so many lines have been crossed. You can't fix this anymore. I'm going to do one more, and we'll wrap it up. This is from Michael. Is it possible that we born-again Christians would be caught up in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air through the same technology that aliens abduct people with? But these would obviously be the good guys. You know, I don't know what the rapture button is. When he presses that button and we all go up, nobody does. Nobody does. I only know that it is my blessed hope. And I know and believe in all my heart that this will happen soon. Folks, you know, speaking of the rapture, the alternative to the rapture is the coming great deception, the great falling away, the gathering by these guys, supposedly, because that's how they're going to explain the rapture way. I'm going to read something. This is from the track. I want to thank my friend Brad Myers for creating these. These are incredible. And for every book or DVD that you buy, we put these in with your order, so you can pass these out. I heard this 50 years ago. There is a potential for many people to leave the planet in an afternoon. The people who leave the planet during a time of earth changes do not fit here any longer, and they are stopping the harmony of earth. I heard it 50 years ago. This is channeled information from a woman by the name of, Barbara Marciniak, and she's channeling one of the Pleiadians. I'm not making this up, folks. I heard that 50 years ago. That explains away the rapture of the church. I heard it 50 years ago at the age of 24 when I was completely immersed in the New Age. So these tracks are important. Check it out. You're going to want to get them. If you want more than 3, shoot us an email, la@lamarzulli.net. For everything that you buy, we give 2 or 3 away for free. But if you want like 10 or 20 or 50, then you got to email us and we'll work something out with you. The Rungs of Disclosure book is out. We are shipping it. Right now it is #1 at Amazon in its category, which is really cool. Thank you for your patronage. It is the most important book I've ever written. Also, the 10-box DVD set, we'll be shipping those out. We'll be doing a pre-sale. You know, Christmas is coming. Give this stuff to your loved. Give something that has meaning to your loved ones other than a Bible. Rungs of Disclosure, most important book I've ever read. This is The Coming Great Deception. I think we're on the cusp of something. We'll see. Thanks so much for writing in. Thanks so much for your questions. We'll see you again real soon.